Hi, this is Gary with MACMOST.com. Let's take another look at what to do before you hand your iPhone over to a cashier, ticket taker, or the police. MACMOST is brought to you thanks to a great group of more than 1,000 supporters. Go to MACMOST.com/Patreon. There you could read more about the Patreon campaign, join us, and get exclusive content and course discounts. So recently I did a video on using the guided access feature of your iPhone, which can lock the iPhone to a screen, so if you have to hand your iPhone to somebody it's much more secure. But being only 1 minute short, I couldn't go into too much detail about this feature and why it's a good idea to use it. So there are a lot of questions and comments. So let's take another look at it and go deeper into the issues involved with handing your iPhone to somebody. So let's look at how to set up guided access. So the idea is you set up certain things beforehand so it's ready to go when you need it. So to begin, go to the Settings app. And in Settings you want to go to Accessibility and then scroll down to find Guided Access. And then you simply want to turn this on. Now this is just the start of setting things up. After you've got it turned on here in Settings, then you need to go to the app where you want to use guided access. So as an example, I'm going to use Notes. Just say you've got a reservation number for something in a note and you may need to hand it over to somebody instead of reading the reservation number out loud. So you want to restrict the person to this screen. Make sure that they can't exit this screen, this app. They can't do anything with your iPhone while they're holding it. So to activate guided access, you're going to triple press the side button. Now you should see a list of all of your accessibility features that you've enabled for triple pressing the side button. Guided access should now be one of them since you've turned it on. So you activate guided access and it goes into this setup mode. Only the first time you use it will go into this mode. So the next steps only need to be done when you set things up, not when you're actually using it out in the real world. Now you want to go to Options and then you want to turn everything off. If you're using guided access to say hand your phone to a child and have them look through some photos or play a game, then some of these things you'll want to have on, like for instance touch. But what I'm dealing with here is just if you want to completely restrict somebody from doing anything except viewing the contents of the screen. So once you've got the options set, then you tap Start. And it's going to ask you to create a passcode. Now this should be different than your regular iPhone passcode. Create another one. Make sure you remember it. Forgetting it will make it much harder to get it out of guided access. So now I'm just going to enter one in. And then you confirm. And now you're in guided access mode. So nothing works on the screen. You can't tap on any buttons. You can't do anything. You can't exit the app. It's basically locked to this screen. To exit, you need to triple press the side button again. And now re-enter that code that you created. Now you exit guided access and you go back to the options screen. You can change the options here, resume guided access, or simply end. And now your iPhone is back in regular mode. Now after you did all of that at home, when you're out in the world and you want to use this, all you need to do is triple press and then guided access will come up and then you tap it and it will enter guided access mode. That's it. None of the prompting for options, none of the prompting for your passcode. It's all already been set. When you exit with a triple press on the side, now you have to enter the code. And now you enter back into the options screen. So if you want to change your options here, you can. Now note that this is a per app basis. So if you go into another app and you use guided access, then it will ask for setup again. You could have a different set of options for this app, but the passcode remains the same. You don't have to enter that again. The idea here is if you're using this maybe to hand your iPhone to a child, that you can allow them to scroll through your photos, but maybe in another app you don't let them scroll at all. Alright, so let me address some of the questions and comments that came up with the original video. A lot of people commented that there are a ton of steps to set this up, and if you're in a situation where you need it, then it's just going to take too long to get it going. Well, of course, the solution for this is you need to set it up in advance. So if you know you have a reservation number or a ticket to an event or something like that, think ahead and set this up so that all you need to do is triple press the side button and enter guided access mode. In a lot of situations though, you do have a little bit of time to set this up. Like for instance, if you're standing in line and you realize you may need to hand your phone over to a ticket taker, or if you get to a bar and you may need to hand your iPhone to somebody so they can check your digital driver's license. You usually have a few minutes there where you can set this up before you actually get to the situation. But if you have a digital driver's license in an app, or maybe an auto insurance card also, you definitely want to set this up in advance in case you do get pulled over and need to show the identification and insurance. You've got this all ready to go. A ton of people missed a key feature of all of this and asked the question, why not just lock your iPhone before you hand it to somebody? Well, the idea here is that you want to show somebody something. You can't show them something if your iPhone's locked. All they'll see is your lock screen. So if you want to show them the ticket in that ticket app, or your digital ID, or a reservation number in the Notes app, they're not going to see that on the lock screen. So just locking your iPhone, of course, that's great security, but it's not going to allow you to show somebody something. Other people say just never hand your iPhone to somebody. And that's actually really good policy. But sometimes it's not realistic. In a perfect world, we should never have to hand our iPhone to somebody. They should have a device where you can hold your iPhone and they can scan it, or maybe they could look at it while you hold it. But the real world is imperfect. Sometimes a ticket taker is behind glass and everybody else is handing them a paper ticket, and you need to slide your iPhone under the window so they could take it and then scan it. Sometimes you've got information or a coupon or something like that on your iPhone and the cashier needs to take it behind the counter, and you can certainly decide not to do it. But in that case, it may mean not actually attending the event or getting whatever it is you're supposed to get when you show the information on your iPhone. And I guess it's perfectly okay to say, well, you would just refuse that. But if it's a concert you've been looking forward to for months and spent a lot of money, it's going to be hard to turn around and walk away. With a feature like guided access, you can allow somebody to hold your iPhone temporarily and know that your information is secure. A lot of people saying that you should never hand your iPhone to the police, and this is good policy too, but sometimes it's unavoidable. If, for instance, you're stopped for speeding and you need to provide proof of insurance and you just don't have any other way to do that except for the insurance app on your phone, then you may have to make a decision. Do you want to get an additional ticket for not having proof of insurance? Or in some states you would have to take off work, go to a government building far away and show proof of insurance on another day? Or just know how to use this feature so you can safely, temporarily hand your iPhone to a police officer so they can see that you have your insurance. The decision whether to do that is up to you. But at least if you know how to use guided access, you've got options. Now some people commented that if somebody steals your iPhone or if the police take it from you, they can break into your iPhone anyway, that they have equipment to do that. Now what I'm mostly dealing with here in guided access is voluntarily and temporarily handing your iPhone to somebody. It's a whole different story if somebody actually takes your iPhone from you and keeps it. But the idea that somebody could break into your iPhone with some sort of device goes back years before Apple added some security features. Today, if you go into Settings and then you go into Face ID or Touch ID and Passcode, you could turn on three key features. One of them is require attention for Face ID, which makes it very hard for somebody to force you to unlock your phone with your face. Next, at the bottom here, you want to make sure accessories is turned off. This means that accessories cannot be used with your iPhone when the screen is locked. So that old device that would break into iPhones, well, if your iPhone's locked and they plug the accessory into it, the iPhone will reject it. Only having this turned on will allow that device to actually try different passcodes. And then finally, turn on Erase Data. And this will erase your iPhone if there are 10 failed login attempts, making it virtually impossible to get into your iPhone with brute force guessing of passwords. And of course you want to make sure that in your iCloud settings you've got Find My turned on, and that way if somebody steals your iPhone you do have a way to remotely wipe it through iCloud. Other people saying not to use digital driver's licenses or IDs or always carry a physical driver's license with you. There's actually a better level of privacy and security with a digital driver's license that you don't get with a real one. For instance, a digital driver's license often lets you hide parts of the driver's license that aren't important in a situation. So for instance, if you are carded at a bar, you don't necessarily need to show the bartender your home address and your birthday. All they need to see is your driver's license with your photo and an indicator that you're over 21. Now if you don't feel that level of privacy is important to you, then fine, you don't need to use that. But a lot of people do like that level of privacy and not having everybody who looks at their driver's license know all that information about them. Another thing to consider is that if your iPhone is lost or stolen, all the information on it is secure. But of course there's no security on your driver's license. Somebody who has it has all that information. Plus you can't track a lost driver's license like you can track a lost iPhone. And as for the availability of digital driver's licenses, there are 3 states right now that work with Apple and the Wallet app to provide them. But there are other states that have their own app with driver's licenses available inside that app. And of course there are going to be more to come. And it won't be long before all states provide some sort of digital ID that you can use. And of course many other countries do this as well. Another comment I saw all the time was that it seems really easy to exit guided access. Just triple press the side button. So if you hand your phone to somebody and they know how guided access works, they can just get out of it. But that of course is not the case. If you saw what I did, you had to triple press the side button and enter in that passcode you created. The other person wouldn't know that passcode. So even though it is easy to exit, without that information they can't. And of course there is a failsafe for actually getting back into your iPhone if you forgot that passcode you created. And that's to simply shut down your iPhone and restart it. Then you can enter your regular passcode in your back end. But somebody else can't do that without your regular passcode. So I hope all this additional information makes it easier to understand how to safely and effectively use guided access. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, click the thumbs up button below to let me know. I publish new tutorials each weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out.